Hi YouTube, welcome back to my channel. This setting is a little different because this video is a little bit different. I don't really know where to start. I feel like this might be a little bit long, but it's worth it. But before I move on, let's go ahead and subscribe, click the button, it's free. You know, all of that YouTuber stuff down below. And I guess I'll get into what's going on in this video. So I just wanted to move a little closer so you could see the real nappiness of this hair. So this video's purpose is because in about, well, I guess it would be less than 24 hours now. It's like 2 o'clock on December the 17th. I don't know when I'll put this video up because editing is, I don't know if I'll have to edit. Like, I don't actually know if I care about editing or like what's going, I don't know. But tomorrow I am getting breast reduction surgery. Yay! Now, I've been going through this process for a really long time. I would say that I've probably been looking into the procedure, like actually figuring out like what's going on and like, you know, the price and, you know, just like what goes on for the whole process since I've been about 14 years old. I guess it just depends on what side of the fence you sit on. I was either blessed or cursed with the most ridiculous boobs in the whole entire world. Like, probably not the whole entire world, that might be like an overstatement. But no, they're pretty outrageous. And I remember like my first bra, like my first big girl bra, you know, like you've been wearing a training bra or like a sports bra since, you know, you're like, I don't know, normal people is probably like 10. I've been wearing like, you know, like under like little kid sports bras probably since I was 7 or 8 years old. Like, I started getting little boobies a long time ago, like a long time ago. And then I believe like my first real bra, I was in the 5th grade. It was straight to a B cup, like a full like wham bam thank ya underwire bra. Like, we skipped all the steps. And I don't know, I probably started getting uncomfortable around that time because, you know, like growing up and just being around other kids and other girls and, you know, like people are starting to go through puberty or not go through it, or, you know, like boys started getting like aware that girls get tits, and then it's just like, you know, just this uncomfortable growing up phase. And I think I really, my first appointment to see a plastic surgeon about getting a breast reduction surgery was my freshman year in high school. Of course, I was way too young for them to do anything, but my doctor, well, that doctor at the time, he was the best person. You know, he still talked about the options with me. He still saw me intermittently through, you know, over the years to document growth and change and, you know, like my pain level and how uncomfortable I was and, you know, just all of that. He did really well with all of that stuff. I've done physical therapy. I've done, you know, a chiropractor. I've been through it. So, you know, fast forward to now, now, obviously I'm a day, you know, a day before the actual procedure, but a few months ago, I was actually already scheduled, on August 30th, I believe was like my original schedule date. There was just I had some personal things going on at the time, and I had to get an ultrasound on my breasts so that they could make sure that everything was good to go. You know, there was nothing in there that, you know, that was causing pain or any harm to my body. And at that time, they found like some suspicious looking, I don't want to call them lumps because they weren't really lumps. I think they called them lesions, which, kind of sounds negative because, that is kind of negative. But I think that was just a blanket statement. I think they were just, calling it that so that, we could get the ultrasound done. Insurance is tricky. Throughout this whole process, I think that the one thing that I would tell other people going through this is to do your research on your insurance. That is the most important part. And if you're not going to do it through insurance, if it's an elective thing and it's not quote unquote medically necessary and you're paying for it, then I guess, like your insurance isn't really a big deal. But I went the insurance route because this is way more than medically necessary. So yeah, if you're going the insurance route, do your research. See if your insurance has a policy for the procedure. If they don't have a policy for the procedure, inquire, call, ask around, watch videos. I've watched probably 50 videos, and that's a lot because another thing that I found out, and which is, one of the causing reasons for me making this video, is because there's not a lot out there on this. I find that in today's, society, it's more about making things bigger. And, I guess people do make things smaller, but not boobs, they do, but they don't talk about it. So, when I was trying to figure out, what other people went through and, what people my age went through and, medicine today, it was really hard to find any kind of research, or it was a really difficult thing on YouTube, at least. The videos that were, had information didn't have a vlog experience, or, everything was just, I just felt insecure in the beginning of, but I think I uncovered a lot of information from this one girl. I related to her just really well. She's Black, she, I just wanted to watch somebody that I feel like our experience would be similar with, scarring and medical history, I wanted to be able to relate to somebody so that I could feel a little bit more comfortable in the process. So I went to my doctor over the summer, this past summer, saw him for the first time. He is totally amazing. He is such an amazing man. I prefer a male surgeon. I don't know really why. I think maybe because guys know what kind of boobs they want to look at, if that makes any sense. That just makes the most sense to me. I just feel like a male doctor knows what kind of boobs he wants to see, even though that's subjective. I guess women would know what kind of boobs they would want to have, but that's also subjective. I don't know. That's just my preference. I just prefer my male doctor. So I met him for the first time. My primary care physician, she recommended him and referred me to him. I got an appointment within 2 weeks. I went to see them. They didn't really deter me at all. Sometimes I've been here before. So sometimes, you'll go and you'll meet with a new surgeon and you'll talk to them and they'll do everything possible to get you to not want to go this route. At least that's what I've experienced. They want you to lose weight, genetic, they say all kinds of things that, aren't irrelevant, but it's much more difficult than that. I find that when I'm at my healthiest, which is not right now, I think that I should add that. I'm not at my smallest. I'm also not at my biggest. I'm just in the middle right now, and I'm pretty decently comfortable. But I found that the more, I'll explain this here. The more that I tone and tighten and shrink, the more ridiculous that everything got. The pain kind of gets a little bit more severe because I think that there's not enough body to hold such a large amount of excess in just one area. And I explained that to my doctor, and I was ready. I have been ready this whole time. I was ready. I had everything that I needed. I had all of my medical records dating back to when I started my period, because I got prescribed, like a constant pain reliever at that time. Nothing heavy. It was just ibuprofen. Because, like around that time, things are so much different and much more severe. So I've been being treated for this and, taking preventative or, whatever measures for a long time. He brought up all of those factors. I had photos before. I had photos of, me being at my thinnest. I have, photos of me being at my heaviest, and at my thinnest, the boobs were just, yeah. So my doctor told me, you're a good candidate, but I'm not going to tell you that your insurance is going to automatically approve you, because I would, that would be a premature assumption. So, he explains that there's a certain amount of cc's that they have to take off for it to be approved. You have to have, it has to be significant. You have to have grooves, any like rashes, and, just all around pain and uncomfortability. I pass all of those tests, even if it may not seem like it sometimes. I think that over the years I've really learned to deal. Went to my appointment. I gave them my insurance information. They submitted. And I would say about 3 weeks after that, I was shopping in Martin's, minding my own business. And to be quite honest, I've been denied so many times prior to this experience that I had literally no hope at all. I wasn't expecting anything. I wasn't setting myself up for, disappointment. I did not want to put myself in a position to be let down again, because that's just kind of the nature of the beast. Insurance is a crazy thing. I mean, obviously, if you, watch the news, and it's just a lot of things go on with insurance, and, we have these open enrollments every year, and things change constantly. So I was in Martin's, minding my business. My doctor calls me, and she's, the nurse at my doctor's office, she calls me, and she's like, guess what? You're approved. I start bawling because I'm an emotional beast. And she congratulates me and tells me that the date that they set is the date that we're going for, and that is what it is. And then I have a pre and post-op appointment, which they sent me in the mail. I already knew all of that information. And so then the only thing from that point to do was to get it done. Personal issues came up, which caused insurance issues, and then a rescheduling had to happen, which I think that at that time I may have been thinking, that I was ready, but I believe that there is a season for everybody, and that everything happens for a reason. And I don't think that at that time I would have been able to receive this blessing, if that makes any sense, with a gracious heart. I think that I wasn't ready, but I was. I thought that I was ready, but when you get something that you've been wanting for a long time out of nowhere, especially when you aren't expecting it, it's a real shell shock. So I just think that, the things that went on at that time that caused this rescheduling were necessary. It's a different season. I believe that it's my season. I think that I had just some personal growing and things to handle in my own life to prepare for this. And today, with less than 24 hours to go, I can honestly say that I am nervous. Duh. I mean, I've never been put to sleep before. I've never had surgery. Nothing. I've been born. That's it. I don't know what to expect. I think it's necessary for me to add that the hospital that I am having said surgery at, I have been employed at a certified nursing assistant, which definitely helps, but it also hurts because getting behind the scenes medical experience is a lot different than being a patient. And you know how they say that, medical field workers are the hardest patients, and that is so true. Everything, just the whole medical process of everything, and just the science runs through your head when you know what to expect. I know what to expect, but I don't, so everything is just going. The process for today, I guess for the last week, I've been getting my laundry done because the downtime is about 3 to 4 weeks, just the downtime. I've been doing laundry, cleaning. There's not one dirty dish. If you know me, you know that I hate dishes. I hate them. So I will let them go, but not this week. I've cleaned my bathroom, I've done my floors, I've washed all my blankets, I've done my bedclothes, I've watered my plants. I have a million plants because I just feel that plants are for healing. I have all my aloe ready to go. I just am at this point where I think the nervousness is gone. I'm just ready to wake up and have my new boobies and just feel like what I think that I feel like, what I want to feel like. I think that a lot of people get this, this misconception that who would do this? Who would not want boobs? People that have them, that's who. So today, I can't eat past 9 a.m. I actually haven't eaten anything today. I think it's just the nerves. But I'm going to meal prep 3 meals for the next week because, you can't really, you can, but I'm not a leftover person, so I don't like to leave, food in my fridge for a long time. But I'm going to prep some chicken meals and some beef meals, and I'm going to pre-cook bacon. I do that every week anyway, and just put it in my fridge so that I can just grab and go. They give you a body wash at the hospital that I'm having the surgery at. I've seen some videos where you have to purchase your own. It's called HIPPA. It's a surgical soap. But my doctor and my facility, they administer a soap, a specific soap that they want you to use, and it's a 4% chlorhexidine solution. You thoroughly wash your hair and your body for 2 minutes, rinse. Don't apply any lotions, moisturizers, lip glosses, deodorant, hairspray, gel. Everything has to be totally and completely product free, which for me and this natural mane is a problem. My hair is so dry that I want to scream. That's why it looks like this, because for days, I won't be able to do any arm movement. And with my hair being curly, I feel like the people that I have on my team, on my squad, won't be able to even do a basic ponytail because it calls for 2 holders for 1 ponytail to keep all these particles and pieces in place. So I washed with the 4% chlorhexidine solution already once today. You're supposed to do it the night before your procedure and then the morning of, but I'm so just particular about that. I don't want to increase any chances of infections. I just want to heal properly. So I did already one of those showers today and blow dried my hair, even though if this doesn't look like a blow dry, if you know what my natural fro thing looks like, this is definitely a blow dry. So I blow dried my hair straight so that if anybody besides me has to do any hair work, that it just, people without curly hair don't know what they're doing with other people's hair that's curly. I'm sorry, that just is what it is. If you don't experience curly hair, the chances of you being able to deal with it are slim. What they're called. So like I was saying, curly hair thing. So I wanted to prep and just make sure that, my hair was in at least halfway of a decent state in case anybody else needed to deal with it. You have to take out all of your jewelry, No fingernail polish or I believe false nail. So I actually took my acrylics off about a month ago. And so I've had boy hands for about a month. And I just kind of left like, oh, I just flipped off my camera. I left like some little slivers of white nails on there because they're not producing much. And yeah, that's where I am. I've seen like people buying, you know, like themselves post-surgery bras and like all these crazy pillows and, you know, like oils and stuff. But being who I am, I already have a million oil, like body oils. I have shea butter, I have coconut oil, I have castor oil, I have all these vitamin E. I have every oil you could possibly imagine. But it's not recommended that you use them until your doctor gives you the go ahead to start, you know, like moisturizing and even touching that area. And that process is for scarring, which I would just like to say that, like, I do not give one crap about any of the scarring. None. Don't care. Haven't thought about it. My doctor, you know, brought it up because I'm young, you know, like well, you know, not super young. I'm almost halfway to 50. But, you know, I think the vanity of it, because I mean, you get small boobs, but you also get a scar from this side of your body to this side of your body. And I think that, you know, if scarring and, you know, looks and all of that business is something that you're worried about, you know, I think doctors just want to inform you. I let my doctor know immediately that I was well informed and that none of that matters to me at all. Like, at all. So I guess that brings me to side effects, and risks or complications, because as with anything medical, this procedure has that as well. Number one, I think, besides scarring, so we'll say that scarring is number one. I am getting an anchor surgery, so the drawing is like this. It's like a keyhole nipple. So yeah, like an old time keyhole. My mom called again because she's my mom and she's just been freaking out, and she had this surgery when I was 5, so she knows what to expect, and it's just this big long process. So yes, I'm getting the keyhole anchor surgery, and they remove the bottom half, put the anchor pieces at the bottom together, put your nippy up in that circle that they draw at the beginning, and close her on up. And that's pretty much the process. I believe that they'll probably remove anywhere from 1,000 to 1,300 cc's per side, per breast. So, scarring. So for scars, I will have a scar underneath that pretty much hits right like underneath the armpit on both sides. And then one from the center of my nipple that goes down from the bottom, like from the center. It's like just a straight line. If I can, I'll insert like maybe a little photo or whichever side, just to show you like what goes on. So that's risk number one, is scarring. Risk number two, that I would say this is the only risk that would even like cause me any kind of, you know, feeling, not a regretful feeling, but just, you know, like a jaded feeling, because yeah, is nipple sensation. So at this phase, when breasts become pendulous, look it up, look up the word if you don't know. You think of like, the pendulum in a clock. That is what they're referring to. When that happens and your nipple is so far away from, the center, the midline, that is a decrease in blood flow. The farther away something is from your body, the less blood flow that it'll get. So at this phase, I would say that my nipples are already slightly desensitized, just from being extended and distended for so long. So that being said, the second risk is loss of nipple sensation and or necrosis, which is when the skin of anything loses blood flow, oxygen, turns black, dies, and falls off. Now that is a thing. That's a thing. What this surgery, what the process and the way that I'm getting it, the nipple is left on a pedicle. Once again, look it up. Which means it stays attached to the body. It is cookie cuttered, kind of, for the shape. They cut around it, leave it, the part that they want attached, they de-epithelialize, which means they take, the top layer of skin off, and they leave it on so that it continues to get blood flow throughout the surgery, so that there's less chance of loss of nipple sensation and necrosis. And if it, it just decreases those chances. So that is the process that I'm going through. So hopefully that doesn't happen. But if it does happen, there is a process called grafting, which basically means that the nipple would be there for aesthetic reasons and it would serve no purpose. There would be no feeling, nothing. It would just be there, for looks, for vanity, for aesthetic. I'm hoping that that is not the process. However, if it is, you win some, you lose some. I believe in speaking things into existence, so that's obviously not my first choice, but if that's what happens, that's what happens, and I'm sure I can move on from that. People, get double mastectomies and, literally wake up one day and, don't feel womanly anymore. And I think that, if I had some kind of incident that I, wasn't prepared for or wasn't hoping for, I think that I would just count my blessings and, try to recover and go through the motions. But I am really confident in my surgeon. And that's another thing is, just make sure you pick somebody that you're comfortable with, that has, good reputation. Words only go so far. You'll always have disgruntled customers, because at the end of the day, patients are customers. You're paying, you choose who is doing this service, and you'll always have that. It doesn't matter how good or how notable the person providing the service is. You'll always have that. But just make sure that you're comfortable with this person. If you get around somebody and the surgeon or your doctor and you feel uncomfortable, that's a gut feeling. That's human nature, and you should go with that, and then you should continue your research. Don't get sidetracked by the end result, because end results are different for everyone. And if you've ever seen the show Botched, that's real. That stuff is real, whether it's televised or not. Surgeries go wrong because of malpractice all of the time. Don't be fooled. Do not think that a cosmetic dermatologist is a plastic surgeon. Your gynecologist is not a plastic surgeon. Your regular dermatologist is not a plastic surgeon. Your primary care physician is not a plastic surgeon. Only a board certified plastic surgeon is a plastic surgeon. I would not go to Mexico to have this surgery. I would not go to Canada to have this surgery. I would not go to the Netherlands to have the surgery. Just make sure it's legit. Do not do anything to your body without consenting somebody that you love and consenting a certified professional. I mean, just what would be the reason? Why would you go through all of this to have a bad result because of lack of patience and information when we literally carry around computers in our pocket all day long? There's just no reason for it. Do your research. Do not sign yourself up for something that you are not ready for because you feel pressured. It's your body, and you should do what you think is good for your body. Now, that's just my little message. Risk number 3, I guess it kind of ties into risk number 2, but infection and improper healing. You have to take care of yourself. You are supposed to, have some downtime, no heavy lifting, no, like it's basically bed rest for a little bit because, I mean, your chest is wrapped up really tight. They put surgical bra on you afterwards, dressings, all kinds of stuff. I am nervous about the pain medication because I've never taken pain medication before. And a lot of the people that I've been watching after surgery have been really loopy and like popped Molly on spit. Like they're don't know how to deal. So I'm nervous about that. What I did do was only request 10 pain pills because I personally don't think that I'll be sitting around eating them like M&Ms. I just don't think that that's going to be my reality. I have a high tolerance for pain on other aspects, and I smoke all the pot that they can provide because it's from Jesus, and I am open with that information. So I think that I'll be fine. Another thing, I guess this depends on your anesthesiologist, is like if you do smoke pot, they want you to not smoke pot, I think the week before. The week? I think it's the week. This is not medical advice. This is not medical advice. Through this whole thing, if you take anything from this video, remember that I am a medical professional, but I'm not a doctor, and I have never performed any kind of surgery, and so I don't really know. Per my pre-op appointment, my nurse told me that they wanted marijuana to not be in my system. Okay, well, we would have had to start a long time ago. A long time ago. More than 30 days. It hasn't been 30 days since my pre-op appointment. So, I just told them that I wouldn't smoke the night, and the night before I wouldn't be under that influence when it was time to come, because to be honest, that's not how that works. It's not how that works. So that's just unrealistic for that to happen. No matter if I pee today or if I pee 3 weeks from now, they're gonna ask me if I need any blood with my THC, and that just is what it is. And what I did was stop smoking 3 days before, which that's a whole nother subject. That could be making me cranky. So I haven't smoked in 3 days, just, to be safe. I've been flushing, and I've only been drinking water, just to make sure, because I can't eat past 9 p.m. tonight. And that's another thing, is I saw a lot of dehydration going on. Not dehydration, but just people being uncomfortably thirsty. Because you know how when you wake up in the morning, like the first thing that I do when I wake up in the morning, I'm like, I need a drink right now, or I will die. I will surely die. So, I'm a little bit worried about that, but I've been guzzling water for the past couple days so that, my lips wouldn't be dry, because I get some crusty crusts. That's like my first sign of needing to drink more water, is my lips being crusty. So I've been doing that, and I don't really know. I just feel like I'm overwhelmed right now. My mom keeps calling me and telling me to be rested. I'm way more than rested. So yeah, I think all that's left to do for me today is to prep some food, take another shower. Like I said, I'm gonna take another shower with the 4% chlorhexidine tonight, and then another one in the morning. I'm gonna take 3 of those showers. And then I have to be in Morgantown, West Virginia, by 5 a.m. I live about an hour and 15 minutes away from Morgantown, so I'm gonna leave my house at 3. I probably won't sleep. I mean, let's just be honest. And I've already alerted them that I'm nervous. So I think when I get there, they'll probably give me something to calm me down, because I mean, I'm nervous, but I'm also just like ready. I'm so ready to be normal. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's really anything else. I just wanted to be like transparent and open, and to put like a little bit more insight to the process out there. I don't know. I really think that's it. I'm going to, for sure, document tomorrow. I still have to take an earring out, take my necklace off. That's it. Yeah. So I'm gonna probably vlog tomorrow, maybe a little bit tonight, and then, you know, just like my getting ready, and then a little bit of car ride, a little bit of hospital, and definitely some of the post-op. My mom will be in charge of post-op because, you know, the arm movement, but I have a selfie stick for her so that she can get all the angles. That's really it. I don't know what else. They just called me right before I started making this video to tell me what time to be there, because they don't call until the day before to tell you what time to be there. But the last time when I was actually scheduled, they called and told me that I should be there at 5. So I figured that this time would be the same, and it was. I've had a lot of help along the way, and tomorrow is the day, and I'm just ready to be like over this hump so I can move on. I'm gonna be 25 this year. It's important. It's a big year. I just want to do big things with small babies. That's my goal. Next time, well, not the next time. Well, yeah, the next time. The next time that I am being viewed, I will be in the itty bitty titty committee, and I can't wait to wear a size medium shirt. On that note, peace, love, prosperity. Pray for me if that's how you get down in the world. Stay tuned. Catch you on the flip side. Subscribe. Bye, guys.